Question. Do you really think that Democrats are aborting live babies?
Ask and you shall receive, my dear. All right, let's take you back to a time when Democrats used to go with abortion on these three things. We would like abortion to be rare, safe, and effective. Okay? That's what Democrats used to run on. Okay? And over time, what we have seen is it get more and more and more radicalized. What Trump was talking about in that debate was the former governor of Virginia's statements when it came to abortion being late term and whether people are going to accept it or not. That's what he's talking about. Do we think that it's doing it, that women are having babies and they're being murdered? No. What he's talking about is all of these more radicalized ways. If you keep doing it, these kinds of things would happen, because clearly the former governor of Virginia at least had that mindset when talking about this stuff. Okay, doesn't mean that it's happening, doesn't mean it's going to happen. What he's talking about is how it has become so radicalized. So if you go back to watch everything that he said in that speech, he's 100% correct. Bringing abortion to the state level for the people to vote on it, whether they want it, they don't, they want exceptions, they don't want exceptions, is probably the most democratic thing you can do. Okay? And he's right. People were, including Democrats, asking for the decision to be brought back down to the state. Now, that doesn't go against all the fear mongering and the gaslighting that your side consistently loves to do about abortion. Okay? But whatever happened to rare, safe, and effective abortions? But what's happened in this country now is abortion seems to be a version of birth control at this point. The very same government that you are probably supporting you're talking about my body, my rights, but yet had zero rights to your body during the COVID vaccination bullshit. But, let's go back to abortion. So bringing that abortion decision back to the state was probably, like I said, the most democratic thing you could do. The people should have the right to vote on whether they want. I also find it funny that you didn't mention the fact that Donald Trump on air on that debate said that he would never support a federal abortion ban, which your side consistently says he's going to do. Project 2025, all that. And the second part of it is he said that he absolutely would support exceptions to the rule of rape, incest, and the health of the mother, which all of you guys say women are going to die on the floor, all of that kind of stuff. So everything that he said in that decision was right. Do we think that people are murdering babies after they're born in an abortion case? No. I mean, it's surprised that you even have to ask that question. I think you think this is like some kind of a big flex. It's not. So yes, I am someone that is pro-life, 100%. I think it is an abomination how many children are being murdered in this country every single year when it comes to abortion. I personally, being a Republican, would like to get behind our young women and start talking to them about the plethora of birth control that is on the market, readily available. And you can even double up on those birth control options to make sure that you're even safer, so you never have to have that decision to have to make, to have to end or terminate your pregnancy. Okay, so where that's gone in this country, where we can't talk to women about safe sex options and having respect for their bodies, maybe going to college and getting an education instead of being an OnlyFans model, that kind of stuff. But even today, you have the birth control pill, you have the implants in the arm, you have condoms, a whole bunch of stuff that you could do if you're being accountable for your body and the decisions that you make with your body. Don't just give it up whenever the first dude walks around, have some respect for your body as a woman. So, and then you also have the morning after pill readily available in case any of those plethora of birth control would happen to not work. But you see, your side loves to consistently gaslight people that abortions, Republicans hate abortion and they want to kill. It's not the truth. What we would like it to be is how the Democrats used to support it, being rare, safe, and effective. But you see, nowadays, when you see former governors of Virginia making these outlandish statements, or you have certain Democrat people in power who make the bills talking about, abortion up until the last month because it's the women's right and all of that kind of stuff. What I find really even more interesting that is when you actually watch a video of an actual abortion being done, I'm going to tell you, it's not a fun video to watch. And I've watched it. I actually saw a guy that went around with street to street interviews and was talking to random Democrats. And yes, abortion, absolutely, we support it. You blah, blah, blah. It's funny because all you guys it's easy to throw the term abortion around like it's no big deal until you actually talk about what actually happens in said abortion. It's pretty horrific. Just going to throw that out there. But I also believe that it should be available for incest and rape and the health of the mother, obviously. But I don't think that the sheer number of abortions happening is a good thing either. But he was going around to these street interviews and he was asking them, they were like, absolutely abortion for all, doesn't matter, the women's rights, blah, 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 blah. And then this man showed them the video of what was happening during said abortions. And I will have you know that every single person were horrified after watching what they saw. And then he asked them the same question. And you want to know what they all said? Well, that really changes how I feel about this topic. Yeah. So I know that you thought this was going to be some kind of a flex to try to shame Trump supporters and or Republicans, but I figured I would answer your question because you're like, no one will answer my question, you crazy MAGA supporters, all of that. I do believe that we have the right to make decisions for our own body, but I also think that the sheer number of abortions that happen every single year is an abomination at this point. Okay, I would like to see more people getting behind our younger women and teaching them to have respect for their bodies and to use the plethora of birth control that is readily available, even the morning after pill and now the abortion pill, that they can actually do it at home, which is just outstanding to me that you wouldn't be under a doctor's care for that and you would try to attempt to do something like that at home. But hey, this is the country that we're living in right now. Taking Roe back to the states for the people to decide whether they want it or they don't, whether they want exceptions or they don't, is, like I said, probably the most democratic thing you can do. Roe being brought down to the states gives it to us, the people. We make the decision, not the bureaucrats. We make the decision. Whether we want it, we don't, all of that. So I hope I answered your question. Oh, and Trump 2024. Good talk, buddy.